So here come to our second ethical analysis tools. So again, it's a relativism, but this one is cultural. Okay, cultural relativism. So cultural relativism is introduced in 1887. Okay, they say that civilization is not something absolute. Okay, civilization is not something absolute. So somehow it's only relative. Okay, okay. So what is right or what is wrong depends on their social norms. Okay, depend on their social norms. So different society they have their different moral code. The moral code of society determines what is right within the societies, or at least within that society. That means that the moral code of the society say that a certain action is right and that certain action is right. Okay, at least within the same society. And there is no objective standard that can be used to judge one society's code is better than another one. So we cannot say that one culture is privileged, so there is no culture, okay, no culture supervised to any other culture, okay. We compare with the law system, we compare with the policy, etc. And that is how our Chinese government always say that you should not comment on our policy because wherever you're in the United States or Japanese, right? Chinese have their own culture, so the other government they should not comment on Chinese policy. So this they are using cultural relativism in this way. And these guidelines, cultural relativism is we from place to place, okay, or from time to time, okay. It will change according to the culture. It will change according to the place, according to the time. So cultural relativism states that some house will be right in one society at one times and wrong in other society or at another time. So this is cultural relativism. So here come to a case study about cultural relativism. So now your friends, your close friend, is driving a car. Okay, he's driving a car, and then he got hit, and then at that time he's driving at least 30 miles per hour. Okay, but somehow the maximum allowed speed in that area is only 20 miles per mile. And the most important thing is that there is no wisdom, so no one can tell the others whether your fence is driving in a higher speed or lower speed. Okay, okay. So you are the only one wisdom that can be proof that your fence is driving only 20 miles per hour. Okay, only 20 miles per hour. Now you have three choices. A. So you have a absolutely right. Okay, so you need to protect your close friend. You need to protect your close friend. Okay. So you need to be testified to a lower speed. Your friend is driving in a lower speed. Or choice B, I have some right, okay, to protect my fans, okay. And then C, I have no right to protect my fans. That means I will tell the truth and then let the others know that my fan is driving in a higher speed rather than is 20-meter lower speed, okay. So could I know your choice? So different people they have their choice. Of course, some of them they will support their fans, and then some of them they will support the truth. Okay, support the truth. Okay, it's a hard decision because he is your best friend or close friend. Okay. So somehow we try to simplify the questions into like that. So we will have choice A and B. Choice A, you testify he was going 20 miles per hour. Okay, 20 miles per hour. So you support your fans. And other one is you are not going to testify that he was going 20 miles per hour. That means you are not going to support your fans. Okay. So let us have a look with the survey. Okay. So this survey have been done in many countries. So in Mexico, 50% of the people will choose A, and 50% of people will choose B. That means half and a half. Okay, half and a half. So we will see that Mexico somehow they will support their fans rather than they support the truth, or at least 50% of the people in Mexico they will think that the brotherhood is more important than the others. Okay, at least 50%. So when you move to some Western country, for example, you move to Canada or you move to United States, Americas, okay? So the percentage is higher. 75% of the Canada, they will choose B, okay? I will stand with the truth, okay? I will stand with the truth because maybe about their relationship, the God they trust, they believe in Jesus, and then they think that the truth is more important than the brotherhood, okay? And it goes if you go to some country in Europe, for example, Norway, okay, 90% of people they will choose blue. They will choose B. Okay, that means they will stand with the truth and then they will not support their best friend. Okay, so you see that the decisions is changing depends on the locations and depends on their culture, and of course the social norm. So more examples about the situations in different countries. So I take a example about the path. Okay, so this is a path in Shanghai. Okay, Shanghai in China. Okay, so you see that the chair. Okay, they are facing with each other. Okay, they are facing with each other, and then most likely when you go to a path, so these two group of people they will talk again, talk with each other. It's loud, and then they really want to share their experience, etc. So yeah, when you go to the park in China, so you always find that someone is speaking, someone is dancing, someone is singing, etc. But when you go to another area, so this one should be Norway, okay, another Norway. So can you see that the chair? So they are facing with different directions, okay, to ensure that when you sit on this chair, you need not to face other people. Okay, you need not to face other people. Okay, and then this one can only allow one person to sit. But in China, it will always allow three to five people to sit on one chair. Okay, so this is the difference about the culture. And here we have two cartoons, one and then two. Okay, so maybe someone is holding some deep fire insect. Okay, so this one is crickets. Okay, they think that it's delicious, and then from their heart they want to share these dishes to you. Okay, to you. Okay, okay. So looking at the response, so we have two response. The first one is okay. I think I will pass fast. Okay, he is polite. He is polite. Okay, and then he haven't said that you should not eat the fire insect or you should not eat the deep fire crickets. Okay, but I'm sorry that I will just pass it. I don't want to eat this kind of things. Okay, but in another words, you can express your feelings in another way. This one, this one. So again, he will pass the food. He will not eat. He will not eat the deep fried crackers. But he want to ask, what your can you tell me why you like them? Okay, can you tell me why you like them? So if you want to apply the cultural relativism, which one is better? This one or this one? A or B? Okay, A or B? So if you apply the cultural relativism, we say that B is better. B is better. The reason is this one. They just he just pass the different quickest and then reject. Okay, okay. He don't want to learn or he don't want to know the reason behind that. There's some culture they love to eat the different quickest, but in this way, B. Okay, okay. Beside reject the firecrackers. He would like to want to know more about the reason behind. Okay, he want to know why you love the firecrackers, and then he want to respect to the other people culture. Okay, so cultural relativism, there are one keywords for all for the main concept is about the respect. Okay, about the respect. We want to know about your culture, and then we want to respect to your culture. Okay. So if you say that we have different culture and then we need to know about their culture and then we need to respect to their culture, different people's culture, right? So there are lots of the culture that we cannot fully accept. Okay, we cannot fully accept. For example, yeah, I remember it should be 400 or 500 years ago. So in South America, there are lots of the cultures about killing the peoples, and then yeah, because of the religions, because of the gods, they kill the people because of the gods. Okay, so for the Western people, they cannot accept this kind of religions. Okay, they cannot accept this kind of culture. Okay, so not all the culture we can fully accept. Even nowadays, so even nowadays in Saudi Arabia, so there are some special culture for the girls. Okay, for the girls. Okay, there is no minimum age required. Okay, there is no minimum age required. So what happens to this culture? That means that some of the girls who is only 8 or 9 or 10 years old is married to some uncle. Okay, to some uncle. Okay, and then there are lots of sad stories. So in 2008, so a 8 years old girl who is asked for a marriage to a 58 years old husband. Okay, and it's a common case in this kind of area. Okay, so do you agree with this kind of culture? If you do not agree with this kind of culture, that means cultural relativism may not be applicable or may not be adopted into the whole world. Okay, into the whole world. And then there are lots of the again lots of the statement to work against this kind of culture. So if your culture is really different from the others, so somehow apart cultural relativism may not be good to apply in our case. Okay. So lots of the government, they try to use the cultural relativism to explain their policy. So we can use the case in Hong Kong as an example, and also in Macau as an example to explain the cultural relativism. So our governments always ask us to respect the peoples in other country, and then to know about their culture, to respect to their culture, etc., etc., etc. Right? So compare with Macau, especially in these few months, they have a better applications in this cultural relativism. They also ask the people in Macau to respect, to know the culture of the others, right? Especially with the Chinese people, right? But somehow they also explain their situation, the Macau culture, the Macau situations to the Chinese peoples. Okay. So I would say that the cultural relativism is not only a way that you respect the other or you know the others. It also requires the other people to know your culture and to know your situation, to respect your situations. So it's a two-way communications. It's a two-way communications. So the cultural relativism, if you want to form it in a better way or if you want to form it in a correct way, okay? So most likely we will using the norms like this. Okay. So at the very beginning, so we expect our culture. We expect our culture, and then we also expect that we know your culture. So we will state what is your culture, etc., etc., etc. And then at the final, I will respect to your culture, and please, you should respect to my culture again. Okay, so this is culture, the core of cultural relativism is a two-way communications. And of course, there are lots of the peoples against the cultural relativism because not all the people they can respect to the other's culture, and there are lots of the unacceptable practice every day, right? So it's a simple example. You cannot force all the Hong Kong people to respect the culture of Chinese. Okay, even if you think that not all the Shanghai peoples they will accept the culture of all the Chinese. Okay, so it's hard for us to accept the other peoples and then to respect to others people culture. So if you look in a international case, when you go to the UK, okay, so we have the Brexit now, and then the reason of the Brexit is somehow about the culture because there are lots of illegal immigrants go to the United States, right? So they create lots of the problems, and then the II cannot accept the culture of United Kingdoms, and then the United Kingdom cannot accept the culture of the II. So it create lots of the conflicts. Okay, it create lots of the conflicts, and somehow you cannot just say that we can respect to each other and then we love each other, we work together, and then this kind of situations can be solved. Okay, so using cultural relativism is really dangerous. Okay, you cannot force other peoples to accept or using the same way to respect with each other. Okay, so this is the weakness of cultural relativism, and then is the problem how we implement this cultural relativism to the whole world. So yeah, it's a good example. So this one is our Hong Kong singer. So his name is Zhao Pao, singer Charles. Okay. So he's famous not only because of his actings, not only because of his song, etc. So he's famous because of his writing. Okay, his writing. So as I remember, one of the famous articles from this singer is one day his glasses is broken. Okay, his glasses is broken, and then he writes a lot of sentence to describe the situations. Okay, describe what's happening, and then he finds lots of the wording, and then this broken glasses is related to his life, and then he feel guilty, something like that, etc., etc., etc. Okay, at the very beginnings, we laugh at these singers because we think that he's overacted. Okay, he's overacted, and then we think that he's crazy, and then just thinking some meaningless things, right? But last year there are another situations of this singer when this singer go to China. Okay, go to China. Okay, go to China. And then if you go to China now, if you stay in the hotel, you need to check the ID card. Besides checking your ID card, the hotel will request you to take a photo. Okay, to take a photo. And what's happening, right? So the staff inside this hotel recognize he's a famous person. Okay, recognize he's a famous person. And then the staff in the hotel take a photo of these singers and then share in Weibo. Okay, share in their social media. So as a result, lots of his fans go to these hotels and somehow it disturbed the livings of this singer inside these hotels. Okay, so after I cannot remember well. So after 1 or 2 days, this singer has a new uh, um, has a new feed on his own social media. Okay, so if you have time, you better have a look with this statement because this statement is really good. Okay, so in this statement, singers try to report the situation first. Okay, so you have a couple of steps about the cultural relativism, and then the first one you report the fact. Okay, you report your fact. Okay, then you report your culture, and then you report their culture, and then you say that we respect to your culture, and then finally the singer say that please respect to my culture. Okay, so let me explain the situation and his statement. At the very beginning, this singer report the situations, and then he live in a certain hotel, and then the staff of the hotel take a photo and then share in the staff social media. And then he find it's very ignoring because lots of their fans comes to here, and then lots of his personal data was put inside the social media, and somehow it's yeah, it's done, so it's not reversible. Okay, it cannot be undo. It's not reversible. Okay, this is the fact. Okay, this is the fact. And then the singer try to expect the culture of Hong Kong people. Okay, we guys, Hong Kong people, we care about our privacy. Okay, we really care about the privacy. We care about our personal data. Okay, we also care about our the place that we live. We care about the situations of our current status. Okay, we want to have the rest, and then we want to find a relaxed place per house. Child think that this hotel is a quiet place, and he want to stay and take a good rest. Okay, and then the third one is I also understand. Okay, I also understand the culture of the Chinese people. Okay, so somehow because they have lots of the camera, and then there are lots of the chasing inside their society, so they will not care about their locations, or they will not care about their privacy. Okay, and they really want to share the things with their fans. Okay, so that's why they use the WeChat, they use the Weibo to share lots of this kind of informations. He know the situations. Okay, he know the situations. And then the fourth part of this statement is, it's a Hong Kong people, I respect to your culture. Okay, I respect that you love to share, and then you want to share the happiness. Okay, I know the situations, and then I will not say it's correct or wrong. Okay, but I respect to your culture. And then final statement is, I also have our culture. We also have the culture in Hong Kong. We also want to protect our privacy. So for the next time, please respect to my culture. Okay, to respect to my culture. So if you have time, have a good yeah, just go to the internet and search this news, and then read his article. And I think that his writing and also the full thinking procedure, or I don't know, he has another guy to handle this kind of information for him or not. Okay, but if it's handled by him, I think that his critical thinking or his thinking process is really good. Okay, at least he can apply cultural relativism. Okay, and at least the step of cultural relativism is very clear. At the very beginning, you have the fact, then you state your culture, and then you state the culture of another party, and then you respect to the culture of another party, and then you request another party to respect to your culture. Okay, it's quite a complete statement. Okay, and I would say that he can apply cultural relativism in a really good way. Okay. So before we jump to the next part, next ethical model, so we will like to have a small discussion or short discussions about cultural relativism. So the first one is, I want to ask, do you think the cultural relativism is useless? Okay, so let us have a voting, and then let us share a little bit about the norms of cultural relativism. Okay.